note in front of my office door, or studio door, I should say. Hello, ReshiMine. This is Freeloader, Mr. Freeloader writing. Oh dear, not him. I am writing to inform you that I would request of the finished product to be released by November 18th. Should be going on this day, if I'm going to be honest. You guys might be seeing this at this time. Who knows? Also, I would like to congratulate you on 240 subscribers. We're at 245 currently. Unless I'm, future ReshiMine can edit it in, but who knows. Also, I'm requesting that video for that 5-star Rhinox review immediately on my front desk by tomorrow morning. Too bad! What is going on, everyone? My name is ReshiMine. Welcome back to another Transformers Earth Wars premiere. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day, and I am here with a little bit of a surprise for new players, maybe veteran players alike. Lately, we've been getting a lot of new players on the Transformers Earth Wars server on Discord. Directions are in the description down below to how to join. There are two ways. You can either contact me through Discord and I can invite you, or you can join the link below as well and enter on your own terms. Go right ahead. But for those of you that are new, welcome. We're glad to have you as a part of the community. So I decided to make this video to help out my fellow newbies, I guess. I don't know what's considered new, maybe like 3 to 6 months of playing. But anyhow, we're not going to cram everything into one video because this video would probably be about 13 hours long. And I know you guys have a lot to do with your life. So, today we are going to just be covering bots and their SA ability, which is special ability. So, without that further ado, what is SA? Let's talk about that. First topic of discussion. I mentioned what is SA in the intro, and so here it is. So SA is represented by the words special ability. Now, what is a special ability? Every bot will have one, except there is a hidden cost. Now, obviously, in the beginning of the game stages, they will kind of direct you to how to use those SA abilities, special abilities, I should say. But they have a hidden cost behind them. So I'm going to point my fingers up here. That's your cue at a ReshiMine. Oh, there they are. Okay, cool. So as you can see on your screen, there is a 5 parenthesis plus 2 parenthesis. So what does that mean? So the number 5 represents the starting number of the SA value. So basically for what could we think of that has the starting SA of 5? I'm not sure. I really don't remember, quite frankly. But anyhow, so what that plus 2 means is basically every time you use that ability, it's going to plus 2. So basically what it's going to go from 5 to 7 to 9 to 11 to 13, I believe, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not sure. ReshiMine can do the math too. But anyhow, why is this implemented in the game, some people might ask? Well, to be honest, it's going to kind of save the game from becoming probably one of the most toxic games. Because if there was no hidden cost, you could use these abilities all the time. And believe me, it would get very toxic to the game, and a lot of people would probably quit. Even some new players might walk away from the game. So, now that we got that out of the way, we can move on to the next topic, which is researching and upgrading SAs. Let's get to it. So when you get into a certain part of the game, you are going to be required to research your bots every 10 levels. So from 10 to 20, you're going to need a research. From 20 to 30, from 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60, 60 to 70, by the way. 70 is the max for 4 stars currently, by the way, because the chart we're going to look at was provided to me by Mr. Freeload. I'm not sure where he got it, but it kind of breaks down the stats of everything you need to know. So, let's start off with number 1s, 1 stars. So, from level 10 to 11, it costs 7,600 energon. By the way, unfortunately for you guys that are using 1 stars, they will cap out at level 20. Now, 2 stars by the chance, they go a little higher than usual. So let's go from level 10 to 11, which is going to be 8,500. From 20 to 21, it's going to cost 85,000. From 30 to 31, I'm sorry, this chart is so confusing for my brain. I can't handle this anymore. 490,000 energon. By the way, max level cap of 40. Now, 3 stars, generally speaking, I would recommend you use them at the early game if possible. From 10 to 11, it costs 9,400 to upgrade that stage. From level 20 to 21, costs you 94,000. From 30 to 31, 540,000. From level 41, 40 to 41, I should say, 1,600,000. 600,000. Oh boy. I got a feeling I mentioned one of these numbers wrong. And then we'll go with 50 to 51, which is 3,400,000. So, here's the thing. Now, expert advice here. I would not take a bot past level 51. If you can afford it, don't do it. Says the person that's done that already, like 6 times. Okay, we can move on. So, 4 stars, which is the top of the game other than 5 stars. By the way, 5 stars, we'll cover them in a future video. From level 10 to 11, 10,000. From level 20 to 21, 100,000. From level 30 to 31, 6,000. From level 40 to 41, 700,000. Yeah. At the level 50 to 51, this is a big cost. 3,700,000. That is. And what you can do in order to make these mission researches not last long, you can use coins. So 59, 202, 867, 1,779, 3,144. But I wouldn't recommend you use coins on that kind of thing. Now, I did mention there's this thing called S8 upgrading, which we're going to look at one of my bots that I happen to have in-game currently, as I am vastly improving on 5-star collection here and there. So let's look at the bot real quick. So when you're looking at upgrading a bot, it's going to give you the attack name, which is Static Strike, which happens to be for Brainstorm. We'll cover him later. Drop a static bomb that traps defenses in an area, reducing their speed by 70% for 13.2 seconds. If a trap building is destroyed, it will shatter and cause 3,195 damage to nearby enemies. Do note you do need a secondary attacker in order to trigger that. And then it's going to show you, hey, your duration in second, which is 13.2 to 14.3. And the damage is 3,195 to 3,314. That is a jump. But you will need to spend some Energon, and Spark, which we'll get into resources later down the line. But it is Spark of 500,000 and then 1,700,000 as well for the upgrade. Or you could use an upgrading skip acquired from the Cyber Pass. Did I miss anything for that? No, I didn't. So, with all that further ado, guys, I think it's time we move on to the class review, which is going to be the Air class to start off. Yes, one of my favorite classes of my collection. As you guys can see on screen, I have a whole bunch of different ranged bots that can be used. Now, Air classes bots are known for going high and shooting targets from above. And, a lot of good teams these days, use these bots to their full advantage. And quite frankly, you could easily beat a base just by using your Air class bots, depending on setups. And we're going to take a look at 3 of these Air class bots. And the first one happens to be one of my most favorites. So I already know we covered this bot beforehand, but we're going to cover him again just to make it all more clear to the visions. So Brainstorm, he is an Air class bot, one of my favorite all-time Air class bots. By the way, we will actually not be covering cores or combats until later down the line if you guys like this episode. So make sure to leave a like and comment that you're ready for another episode. So let's look at it real quick. Stag Strike, level 8. Remember that SA cost I was talking about? So his cost is 6 at the start, and then it goes plus 3, so it would be 9 to the next ability. So drop a Stag Bomb that traps defenses in an area, reducing their speed by 70% for 13.2 seconds. If a trap building is destroyed, it will shatter and cause 3,195 damage to nearby enemies. Quite frankly, I think Brainstorm is an all-out beast of a bot, and quite frankly, if you do manage to get him at the early stages, use him wisely. That's all I gotta say. Without further ado, I think it's time we move on to the next bot. One of my all-time favorite Dino bots from the Dinobot team on Transformers is Swoop, and there is a reason why. Swoop is a very, very good defender in his own right, and quite frankly, the ability says it all. Fire Mission, level 6. Now, reminder, cost is 5 to begin with and plus 5, so it's very expensive to use the next ability since it's going to be 10, and quite frankly, I hope you can build this guy around the correct team. Level 6. Set out to hit the targets up to an area up to 18 times for 628 fire damage each. So basically what he does is spin around in a circle around 18 times. I never really kept track or count or anything like that, but it's basically super useful. And the cool thing about this on defense is he can hit your attackers multiple times to where your attackers have to keep healing in order to stay on the battlefield for longer than usual. Well, for ado. Now that he's out of the way, let's get to the next spot. So, if you happen to join Discord and you ask the question, is Shattered Glass Jetfire a good bot? Everyone will probably tell you he is one of the best jets, and it's not even close. So, what does he do? Laser drones, level 8, cost 5 plus 4. Remember, it will be 9 afterwards. So, what does that do? Fire a 3 laser at a target, dealing up to 6,473 damage in total, and deploy 3 targetable decoys at 40% of your HP. The deployed decoys taunt enemy air defenses and have temporary shields that negate all damage for 9 seconds. So the cool thing is, the reason why he's one of the best is he can go out there and distract your opponents. And basically, your opponents are those those little annoying pesky turrets, because they're going to be busy with your decoys, and meanwhile your team can just go right through and destroy everything possible. Now, when you get into the later game, this will matter the most, because if you do the Titan campaign, this is going to be your best friend, because the Titan on the final mission can take out the HQ if you take down Trypticon, that is, and go from there. So, big helper, in my opinion. Let's move on to the next bot. Oh, sorry, no. We're not moving on to the next bot. We're moving on to the next class. Roll it. So the next class we're going to talk about is the Gunner class. The Gunner class has artillery that can shoot at weapons from far away distance. However, they're a little more vulnerable to anything heavy artillery from defenses, so you might want to keep them as far away as possible. There is a very unique group of classes out there, and this is just one of them. And I think there are a lot of bots out here that are really good at 3 stars, not 2 stars. Remember that. So, without further ado, let's get into our first bot, which happens to be one of the best Gunner class bots, for sure. Let's get into it. So, we got probably one of the best gunners in this group right in front of us, which is known as Sixgun. And honestly, if you talk to anyone in Discord, they'll probably tell you this guy is very good. Well, not just very good, very great, or fantastic, in my opinion. Infrared homing, level 8. Cost is 8 plus 2. So if you use this ability once, it's going to be 10. So what does it do? Set an area on fire, dealing 1,388 fire damage over 6 seconds, and then take off and shoot 4 guided missiles. Each missile prioritizes burning defenses and causes 2,603 damage. Wow, that's insane. I mean, here's the thing. If you can just find that clustered up defense and just use Sixgun on it, you know, that defense is going to blow up in minutes or seconds even. So, without further ado, let's move on to the other great gunner of this group. Not gonna lie, this bot seems very toxic. Never mind, though, it's gonna get that joke. But anyhow, Skids is another gunner that a lot of people do like to favor a lot. Toxic Strike is his ability, level 6. Cost is 5 plus 3. So if you use it once, it's 8. Call in a Toxic Strike at a nearby location. Deals 2,429 acid damage in an area over 10 seconds. Deals 1.5 damage to walls, minicons, and outpost bots. Oh, jeez Louise. Okay, yes, that is a very, very toxic bot, in my opinion, for defenses. Very useful at hand. And quite frankly, this guy with Sixgun could be a massive threat for any defenses not expecting them. For ado, I have a surprise pick for the third bot we are going to cover. So for the last bot we are covering for the Gunner class, it is Rotorstorm. And this is a very underrated bot in my opinion, because his ability, a lot of people might not get it right away. Rocket Cascade, level 6. Cost is 4 plus 4. For 20 seconds, hover and fire long-range rockets dealing 636 damage per second. Each of your targets that are destroyed, you deal up to 30% bonus damage, up to a maximum of 370% bonus damage. So basically, the more targets he hits and destroys, he's going to deal more afterwards. Holy moly, yes, no wonder I love using this bot as well. Without that further ado, I think we gotta get onto the third class, which is Medic, I believe. Let's do it. So medics are very important for your Transformer team when you get to the higher levels, because you're going to be taking more damage than able to prevent. So medics like Ratchet, Wheeljack, Merniva, First Aid, Wreck Guard even, kind of are in charge of that. So let's run through their abilities real quick and kind of understand why they are very important the way they are. Starting off, we have a medic that I love to use on my main team, which is Ratchet. Healing Grenade, level 8. Launch a grenade that recovers 296 health to all Autobots in a large area for 5 seconds. So basically, it kind of sounds like a weird ability because you don't think a grenade would heal, but Ratchet's does, and we're not going to debate with Space 8 why they made this ability. Move on to the next bot. The next medical bot we're going to cover is Wheeljack. Now, Wheeljack is from the movie, I forget, but he was a warrior, but they made him a medical bot in this game, which, honestly, he looks pretty nice looking, I'm going to be honest, but very nice medic. What's his ability, though? Combat Stimulants. Level 6, amplified movement and attack speeds of nearby Autobots by 60% for 8 seconds. So basically, he heals them and makes them go a lot faster. Very, very useful, if I'm going to be honest. So if your team starts getting slowed down, speed them up with Wheeljack, and this ability will save you in a crunch time. So, I was talking to people on Discord today, and I showed them my main team. You should never show your main team if you're very confident with it. And I got called out for not having Merniva on my main team. Problem is, a Prime Rush team cannot use Merniva because their tower stays still. So let's dive right into Merniva's ability. Healing Tower, level 6. Spawn a healing tower that recovers 329 health to all allies in a range every 15 seconds. Every second for 15 seconds, cannot be targeted or nor destroyed. Yes, you cannot destroy it. In fact, you can't do anything about it. And I get it why everyone's yelling at me for this, but the healing tower can't move. And if you look at Merniva's cost, it's going to be 10 compared to Ratchet's 6. You obviously know I would use the bot that costs 6 at least, or Wheeljack's at this point. So that is why. And Merniva is a hard bot to really use correctly, so you gotta make sure she's in a better spot than usual. And make sure to keep your medics behind the line. So, without further ado, let's move on to the fourth class. If either you're on the Autobots or you're on the Decepticons, special class bots usually shine the brightest out of all the classes. And it's no funny joke. Quite frankly, I really do enjoy this class to a whole point of degree. Let's dive right into the first bot, which we might have covered here on the channel before. So for those of you that did see my review video of Laser Optimus, it will actually be in the description down below. But Check mode is no joke. Level 11. For 10 seconds, fire plasma discs, dealing up to 1,217 damage and bouncing off nearby targets. 20% reduction per bounce, applying the EMP effect to your foes. This guy absolutely single-handedly destroys bases like it's no business whatsoever. And quite frankly, I do like this bot, and he may not be one of the greatest bots, but quite frankly, it's worth it to use them if you can. So if you were paying attention to the intro, Mr. Freeloader wanted me to do a 5-star review on this guy. And quite frankly, that video will come soon. Might be dropping in December, I think, by this time. Who knows? So, what's his ability? Life-stealing charge, level 8. Rush into combat. Imprisoning buildings on your path for 7 seconds. The vines deal 235 damage per second, slowing down defenses by 70% and heal your nearby allies. What's allies? Allies by 33.8% of the defense's damage value per second. So basically, Rhinox is a rusher and healer at the same time. Quite frankly, he could be your single-handed medic at this point. So very capable bot. I mean, if you can use him wisely, very difficult bot to use, but we will dive into his 5-star review quite soon. I promise. Oh boy, it's one of the most annoying bots, but unfortunately at 17 and 18 HQs, this friend of mine won't see that much play. Chromia. Chromia is one of my main attackers on my main team, and quite frankly, she is a menace to mess with. EMP Shock is her ability, level 8. Place an EMP Shock tower dealing electrical damage that has 50% of your health and 74% of your damage. And can disable nearby defenses. Lasts for 30 seconds. Explodes when destroyed or expired, dealing 3.5 times more damage to nearby enemies. Very dangerous. Especially when you find one on defense and it completely bodies your whole team. We do not like that feeling on this chill, and I can tell you that from a personal standpoint. With all that further ado, let's move on to the next class. So maybe you're looking to add a little spice to your team. Well, in come triple changers. I used to call them triple chargers, but they're triple changers. And quite frankly, they're super useful. In fact, the 3 we're going to cover are so good, it is not even a joke. They actually don't have just one ability, they have 2 for you to use. And quite frankly, if you use them correctly, you can cause a lot of commotion among your enemies. Let's get right into the first bot. Alright, so the first bot we are covering is Snapdragon. So Snapdragon has 2 attacks. Like I said earlier, Mach 3, level 8. Rush in, becoming shortly invisible to your foes and reducing their speed to 50% less along the way for 15 seconds. 0% on second hit. Follow with Fireball. This is a combo move. Deal 2,263 damage over 10 seconds to targets under 50% speed reduction. 2 times damage to 0% speed targets, which means the turret is super slowed down at this point. And then the second attack, which is Fireball, level 8. You set your foes on fire in a straight line, dealing 754 fire damage over 10 seconds. Follow with Mach 3, flying over targets that are under fire, make them explode, dealing 1,239 fire damage in a small area. So he's like a little combo bot. You could do one and then do the other and do as much damage as possible. Frankly, an aggressive bot if you aren't using him correctly. The next bot we are covering, I am a big fan of this bot, and quite frankly, you can see why. Spinger has 2 abilities, like Snapdragon does. Aerial Support, level 6. Rush to help a friendly bot. Upon arrival, heals an area for 2,465 over 5 seconds. This is a major win for any missions that have you say, oh, no medic on the field. Spinger does not count as a medic. Hint, hint. So, go ahead and use him for that. Or you can use him for defensive perimeter, level 6. Bombard nearby targets for 8 times with 616 electric damage and stun for 5 seconds. Attracts defenses and provides 70% damage reduction. So basically what you could do is use the rest of your team to take out the defenses, Spinger to haul him in, so he takes all the hitting, but he does reduce some of that damage all the way. Without further ado, let's move on to the next triple changer. My bad. Now, I don't know how many people use Broadside on their main teams these days, and if you do, I don't blame you whatsoever, because he's pretty useful. Level 5, Repair Drones. Deploy 5 untargetable repair drones to heal for 79.4% health per second each. When you deploy more drones or you are destroyed, your repair drones explode, healing. Healing 635 each. These values increase the more with your damage. So basically what it is basically when Broadside gets knocked out, your drones go down with him. So, if it's really like a safety feature just in case, because your drones will heal your team. It's kind of a weird sack kind of bot in a way. But his second ability makes more sense too. Assault drones level 5. Employ 5 untargetable assault drones that attack for 68 damage per second each. When you deploy more drones you're destroyed, I should say, your assault drones explode, dealing 612 damage each. These values increase with your damage. That's what I meant to say. So, the cool thing about this is you can constantly spam this and you can destroy a base single-handedly. I'm just saying, it's pretty good, and I would highly recommend you to use this if you are a starter player. With all that further ado, guys, I think we gotta move on to the last class, which might have some surprises for you. Ever get that itch or urge to go in there and cause the most amount of damage with risking losing all your bots? Well, warrior class bots might be your suit, and quite frankly, I wouldn't recommend risking them that manner, but we do have a lot of special warrior class bots that, quite frankly, work like a charm. So why not we get in there with the first bot? The first bot we are hitting up is Rook, which is a warrior bot. Explosive Decoy is his ability, level 6. Place a decoy that has 75% of your health and attracts defenses. When destroyed, it explodes, dealing 2,253 damage in a large area. One decoy can be deployed at a time. Active at a time. So basically, actually, one of the things that they missed is your decoy can do damage towards your enemy. And by the way, it will do the same thing that Rook's doing. But when you deploy a second decoy and your first decoy hasn't gone yet, it will just faint like a usual bot. So, and you don't gain any health. So do be careful of using this bot. One of the new best warrior bots, in my opinion, is Twin Twist. Now, he has some really bad pathing, which we will talk about in the future down the line. I'm not sure when. But his ability is very good. Overcharge, level 6. For 20 seconds, double your attack speed, deal 4 times damage to walls, and increase your damage to 966 per hit. So basically what he does is starts hitting, like, bumping targets, and as he bumps them, he destroys more and more as soon as possible. So he just keeps hitting him for 20 seconds, and it's such a fun treat. Make sure you have a core that keeps him around for the longest time. Very, very useful bot, in my opinion. Hard to believe we reached the final bot of this series, and that is going to end on Hotspot. What does Hotspot do? Reflective Shield, level 7. Put a protective shield on that reflects 50% back to the attacker for 8.6 seconds. Then charge at the target, attracts defenses. So when it says attracts defense, like Springer's did, defenses will gang up on this guy and try to knock him out. And quite frankly, what I would recommend in order to avoid that is have some sort of shield combat attached to him that he just doesn't get wrecked up immediately by anything. So, without further ado, I think we can just go right to the ending screen, right? I'm pretty sure, right? So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, all this knowledge out there. Quite frankly, I appreciate every new player that has joined the Discord server. Reminder again, link is in the description down below. And go ahead and join me. If you aren't able to use the link, please get a hold of me on Discord and I will invite you myself. Quite frankly, I cannot wait to see you guys grow in this game. So if you guys do have any questions, have any concerns, have any comments, please leave them in the comment section below because I will be gladly to answer them. And if you guys want another video like this, please let me know. Leave a like, subscribe, and all that. And I'll see you guys later, alligators. Peace!